Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host Herschel Gillis, here with a fresh cut. So I look like a potato head now, but that's okay. As you notice, don't have a DVD again because this film is long out of print, and I was sent this through the miracle of the internet, which means that I didn't purchase it, but I did pre-order the Blu-ray that is coming out at the end of the month, so don't worry about it. The film, of course, is 964 Pinocchio, one that I've been meaning to review on the channel for a long time, but never got around to watching it. So here it is, 31 Days of Horror, Day 13, 964 Pinocchio. What is it? Well, it's a 1991 cyberpunk Japanese film from Shozen Fukui, or Fukui. I've been butchering these names the last couple days. It's about a sex slave in presumably the future who gets his memory wiped, or, we don't see that happen, but he has his memory wiped, who's thrown out by his owners because he can't get an erection. Uh, um, he can't communicate. We don't know why. We also don't know why or how he got his memory wiped. He breaks out of this, or not breaks out, he gets released from this place, finds this girl named Himiko. She's homeless. She's just wandering through the city. She's sitting down. He just falls in her lap, and so starts a journey of weirdness. Himiko has also had her memory wiped for whatever reason. Probably, like, we're left to assume by the same people that wiped Pinocchio, the sex robot's memory there. And Himiko starts drawing maps of Japan to try to help other memory wiped people. She goes on to take him home, and he finally becomes aware of, like, what happens to him, his situation, and for whatever reason, he just kind of like turns into this like massive thing for a minute. Like, he starts undergoing like all these changes, and we're left to assume that whatever happened to him went beyond just getting his memory cleared, like wiped out. And Himiko starts losing her mind. And I won't spoil the rest of that, but that's the initial premise there. This one is a weird movie. So, describing this movie is hard because after watching this, I didn't even know what I watched. You're left kind of clueless at the end of it, but you watched something good. You know what I'm saying? The story's not like very straightforward. And things just sort of happen, but in like an artistic sort of manner, like a David Lynch film or something like that. But the film is absolutely insane. There's an energy that runs through the entire film that is just almost palpable. Like, I don't know, this film just feels like condensed everything. Like, it's so bizarre, it's so fast paced, it's so just crazy. There's always something insane happening, and it's like this crazy soundtrack and crazy editing. The editing reminds me of something a lot like Tetsuo the Iron Man, where it's like very jolty sometimes to like show like and add to this intensity. The music does the same. There's people screaming all the time, people like having grows coming out of them and attacking each other, and just a lot. It's very in your face, and it's very good. It's shot really well. The soundtrack is great. The acting is fantastic. Um, it it can't be overstated though how insane this movie is. It's If you're going into this expecting like a simple plot line or something easy to understand, you're not going to get that. But you're going to get in your face everything, every emotion. It's like getting punched by the movie in a good way. It's just insanity. This scream, like, imagine like an internal scream turned into a film. That's what you get here. It's bizarre. It's crazy. I keep saying it's crazy and insane, but it is. But it's like it's just so entertaining, and kinetic. It's like ADHD the film. Um, there's always something happening. There's never a second where it relents. It just keeps going for the entire runtime. And at the end, you're kind of left gasping, and it's like getting whiplash from the film, and it's fantastic. You should definitely watch it. It's experimental. Um, if you're into experimental cinema and you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. If you're into films like Tetsuo the Iron Man, this is comparable to that. Like that sort of energy, the editing. This one is in color, not black and white like that, but similar ideas. Um, yeah, it's like taking LSD. That's what this film feels like. It feels like you're on drugs. Um, it's just so surreal and crazy and kinetic, and it's like you're losing your mind, and it always feels like on the edge of breaking down. Um, you're always sitting there wondering, like, what's going to be the point that it finally all just falls apart, and it just never does. It manages to stay connected, and while being crazy, it does have the focus. Like, there is an end point of the film, and there's an end goal for the characters, that they're trying to reach. Even with all this stuff happening, there's always that goal in sight, sort of. So, like, there's definitely a plot to this, even with everything going crazy. There is a plot that runs through it. It's just hard to focus on with how much stuff is just happening all the time. Um, but in a good way. I don't have any complaints about this film, actually. It was fantastic. Um, one of the best films I've seen ever, probably, in my opinion. I do enjoy these types of films, though. Japanese cyberpunk films, David Lynch movies, surrealist, like artistic art house stuff. Um, I don't mind when there's not a plot, or not a like straightforward plot line, when there's this, when it's like a mood piece sort of, or it's not something that you focus on the plot and it's more about like style over substance. It doesn't work sometimes, but in times like this it really does. And there is a plot in this as well, even if it's loose. So it all kind of just works together to make for something. And oddly enough, I know in Japan this was kind of like heralded as like a subversive masterpiece, and it was really popular. So that's pretty cool. It's been out of print for a while as well, um, which is unfortunate, but on October 25th, which as of right now is 12 days away, Media Blasters is releasing the film on Blu ray in the United States. I'm not sure if it's Region A locked for people that are international, um, but I do believe the pre orders are selling really quick on the places it was available. Diabolic DVD already has it out of stock, their pre orders ran out. I ended up getting mine through um, Right Stuff Anime. They still, as of saying this, have pre-orders available for it as well. So definitely check it out like that. It's becoming easier to get a hold of this one, without like knowing somebody that has a file for it or a DVD or anything. Um, because the DVD in the U.S. released by Unearthed Films came out 15 years ago, and it is long out of print. So get a hold of this one when it comes out. You will not regret it. Even if you're not into this type of cinema, this is a good one to like dip your toes in. Like, I think a lot of people are going to appreciate this one. And at the end of the day, the biggest sin a movie can commit is being boring, and this one is definitely not that. So I highly recommend it to everyone, um, without really any buts or anything to say like to detract from that. It's just really good, and it's kinetic and fast paced and great. Or you should watch it. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I know it's rambling, but the film itself is not structured in a cohesive way, and it's still entertaining. So maybe that can be this video as well. So come back tomorrow for day 14 of my 31 days of horror reviews. I'm going to be doing a disturbing movie iceberg breakdown video soon as well, talking about how I dislike the structure of it, but I'm also not just a complaint video. I'm going to be explaining every film on there to finally clear up any confusion that exists. I will tell you the definitive what everything is there, as well as giving recommendations for things of my own. So keep an eye out for that. As always, though, I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 brain cells, and 0 planning. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep notifications on. Thanks.